before we present the awards to our students, we'd like to invite a group of students to come up and share with us their experiences and insights in writing the academic papers. So I'm going to invite 3 students up one at a time, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about their research, and then the students can share with you in more detail. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Kopanel Wong up to take a seat. You can come up to the front. Please take a seat. And Kopanel's topic was about acoustic analysis of Mandarin sounds produced by university students whose native language is Cantonese. So I'm going to invite the next student up. And the next student up is Fiona Chan. Welcome, Fiona. And Fiona's topic was about the possible reasons leading to the low recognition rate of asylum claims or refugee claims in Hong Kong. And our last student to share is Yingmin He. Welcome. And Yinming's topic was about the investigation of the territorial influences of contemporary highway investments in knowledge and service-based societies. And she analysed panel data on Hong Kong's office property transactions around urban highway interchanges from 2002 to 2013. So lots of interesting topics for us to explore more. So I thought maybe, Kopanel, you could start by sharing with us some of your insights from writing your paper.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Wang Jakin, and I'm linguistics major student from the Department of Linguistics and Translation, and currently I'm a master's student at the same department. And my project is about the acoustic analysis of the Mandarin sounds produced by the university students, that is CDU students, whose native language is Cantonese. And they are the beginning learners of Mandarin. And the Mandarin sounds called sibilants can be divided into 3 sets according to the time positions. The first set is danti-alveolar, zi, ci, si, and retroflex, zhi, chi, shi, and alveolo-palatal, ji, qi, si, these 3 sets. And the result shows that the learners perform the best in producing the retroflex sounds, zhi, chi, shi. And this contradicts to our common thought that Cantonese speakers cannot produce the retroflex sounds properly. And moreover, the learners perform not very well in producing another 2 sets of sibilants. And there is a common phenomenon that the learners tend to use the retroflex sounds, zhi, chi, shi, to replace this set of sounds. And this matches another common thought that there are so many sounds with tongue-tip curling and thought by the Hong Kong people. And I do hope that my paper can contribute to the Mandarin teaching in Hong Kong because it is rare to see students with language majors doing the quantitative studies about language sounds in Hong Kong. And in my opinion, Mandarin is not just a common language for China, but also a popular foreign language for Japan, Korean, and even more Asian and Western countries. I do hope that Cantonese speakers can acquire the ability in speaking Cantonese, English, and Mandarin, and to be the real trilingual speakers. And in the research, I have encountered 2 difficulties. The first one is finding the suitable subjects, and because it's hard to find the suitable subjects, and this is the common difficulty for the students who do the research projects. And luckily, my Mandarin teacher, Chou Yun Lou in the Chinese department, helped me a lot in inviting the Cantonese learners of Mandarin. And the second difficulty is using the new analysis method, which I did not learn from the lessons. And therefore, I went to the library to borrow the books about basic acoustic analysis. And every time I do not understand, I will ask my supervisor, Dr. Lee. And after several weeks, I'm getting more familiar with the analysis method. I would say, if possible, do not throw your knowledge acquired from the university to the rubbish bin. And do try to connect your knowledge to your society and to find out what you can do with your knowledge and the issues of the society. And I do believe that what I've learned in linguistics can contribute to the society in many ways. Finally, I would like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Lee Wai-Sung Fanti, who teaches me the systems of language science, phonetics, and phonology, and how to write an academic research paper. And the knowledge I gained has paved a road for me to develop my future career. Thank you.
Copen, I do have one question for you.
Okay.
What were the reasons for you for participating in the OAPS project?
Apart from the recognition by my teachers in my department, the most important reason is that my paper can be searched on the internet. Because actually for our students' work, it is hard to be found on the internet, although you may just you are the first one to do such topic. And if your topic, your academic writing can be searched on the internet, that means you can be the basis for the further development. Yeah.
Okay, that's great to know.
Okay, thank you.
Fiona, would you like to share with us some details about your paper?
Hi, I'm Fiona Chen, and I finished my law degree at CTU. I'm now doing a postgraduate certificate in laws, and also at CTU. So my article reviews the possible reasons leading to the low recognition rate of asylum claims, that means the refugee claims in Hong Kong. And prior to my research, I read from some newspaper articles that the recognition rate of refugees is very low, and the refugee brings no good to the society and so forth. So therefore, I wanted to know whether there are some problems with the screening system and what can be done by the government whilst ensuring efficiency and promoting fairness. So in the first part of my article, I briefly introduced the legislative framework and the development of the refugee screening system in Hong Kong. And in the second part of my article, I explored the statutory prescribed time limit to file a non-refoulement claim, that means the non-refugee claim. And I examined whether it is effective to set a very strict time limit for filing the claim in light of the recent implementations of a new screening policies, that means the unified screening mechanism, which is a completely new policy after the year of 2013. So in the first, I examined the medical examination procedures for asylum seekers, for the refugees, under the immigration ordinance in Hong Kong. And also I studied the practice in the United Kingdom and in Canada. And I also made recommendations on reforms of the refugee screening system as well. And my article is not a comprehensive review of the refugee screening system in Hong Kong, so I just only chose two issues. That means the statutory time limit as well as the medical examinations procedures, so not comprehensive. So in relation to what challenges or difficulties that I face in the research, let me briefly introduce the refugee screening system and development in Hong Kong first. And Hong Kong is a contracting party of the United Convention Against Torture since the year of 1992. However, there was a complete lack of legislation, regulation, or a coherent policy to deal with the asylum seekers before the year of 2004. It was only after a court of final appeal decision that the Hong Kong government started to formulate policies on screening refugees and asylum seekers. So therefore, the screening system in Hong Kong is relatively new, just a bit more than 10 years. And unlike the other areas of law, we don't have a textbook called the refugee law in Hong Kong, refugee screening system in Hong Kong. And so the development of the refugee law in Hong Kong is also an evolving jurisprudence, meaning that it has kept changing. So I don't have a textbook at all to start my research. And also in particular, and after the year of 2013, and after the decision of a court of final appeal judgment in Hong Kong, and as a result, the government introduced a completely new screening system, the unified screening system that you may have heard on the newspaper recently. So seeing as everything is new since the year of 2013, I had to read a lot of materials, including the legislative paper, court judgments, newspapers in order to understand the whole picture, and to keep updating myself because the policies have kept changing. So the journey is quite lonely because I didn't have a textbook. And I said I conduct comparative studies of the refugee screening system in the United Kingdom and in Canada. So before the start of my research project, I basically didn't know anything for the screening policies in these two countries. So I read quite many textbooks and general newspapers. And to be honest, no one advised me on the foreign refugee law in Hong Kong, so it was my own research. So for any insights that I would like to share with the current students, I will encourage the current students to take the initiative to talk to the professors and advisors. And at the beginning of my research, I was not sure what I should focus on. But after I talked to my professor, he advised me to narrow down the issues. So before I submit my work to the university for OAPS, I also invited my classmates who do not know anything about the refugee law to comment on my work. And they were actually quite helpful because they helped me to simplify my work and to be more objective. And finally, I would like to express my gratitude to my professor, Guobing Zhu, for his guidance throughout the past 12 months. And I also want to say thank you to my friends who spent their time on reading my article. And actually, after I determined to make my article publishable, I tried to contact some refugee lawyers and seek advice from them. And many of them didn't know me before, but they still reply my email and spare some time to see me. So without them, I can improve my article and make my article publishable. Thank you.
I've got a question for you as well, Fiona. How has being in the OAPS project helped you with your study?
First, it demonstrates my ability in legal research, and also it recognizes my effort and my passion in human rights law and refugee law. And also, I got the little booklet from the university, so in case I meet some prospective employers, I can give them the booklet and to assess my ability.
That's a very good reason. Thank you for that. Now we're going to hear from Yingming about her paper. Thank you, Yingming.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Yiming He, a graduate from a Department of Architecture and Civil Engineering, and now I'm a current student in Hong Kong U for pursuing a higher degree in academic career. And I'm happy to be here to sharing my paper writing experience with you. And my paper aims to investigate the impacts of contemporary highway investments in a knowledge-based society, just like Hong Kong. Because Hong Kong is famous for its world-class railway system to support its knowledge-based industrial, just like the real estate, finance, and information industry. But it's still interesting to discover, to explore the contemporary impacts of highway construction in Hong Kong. So the study analyzed panel data on Hong Kong's office property transaction around urban highway interchanges from 2002 to 2013. And we find a different influence across Hong Kong Island, Kowloon, and New Territories, because it's a different industry structure across these three areas. And this research explores the wider economic benefits of the ongoing highway project in Hong Kong. And I think this research will be very helpful for city manager and a planner to understand the changing role of highway investment in a deindustrialization society, just like Hong Kong or another world-class city like New York or London. And during the writing, the most difficult part I met is the first time I do a huge data analysis. It's over 10,000 data points. So I have to learn a new knowledge and new software at a very limited time. But I think reading more and asking more is very helpful for me, and I think it will be also helpful for the students they will writing their dissertation. Because most of answer of your question can be found in the books on the exist papers. You can easily to find your solution to your question in a very easily way. If you cannot get the answer from this paper or books, you can directly to ask your supervisor, because a close relationship with your supervisor is very helpful for you during your dissertation writing. And I think solve any confuse as soon as possible is very useful and important. And I would like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Murakami, because he will give me lots of instruction and during my writing my dissertation, and he also gave me lots of help when I apply for a research program in Hong Kong U. And fortunately, as the support from him, he write a reference for me, and I got an offer, and I'm already start my research program in Hong Kong U. So that's all about my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Yingling. And I also have a question for you. And what have been the outcomes for you after participating in the OAPS project?
Yes, I think there will be two outcomes for me. Because first, when I participate OAPS, I can share my dissertation with the peer students. They can read about my dissertation and to understand how to write, how the dissertation, the structure of a dissertation, and to know relative knowledge from my dissertation. And another outcome is after participate this project, I rewrite and revise my paper, and now I submit this paper to a journal with my supervisor, and I'm waiting for good news now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can give a round of applause to our speakers. Thank you very much. You can take a seat now. You can take a seat now.